Dozens of families were in court this afternoon trying to find out the latest on that frustrating situation at St. Matthew's Cemetery in West Seneca.
Several months ago, 215 graves were moved without the families finding out ahead of time. Now, the owners have maintained it was an emergency situation. And 2 on your side's Jeff Preval has some new developments tonight.
I still don't know what part she's in. They still ain't gave me no part with my mom at. And that's really, like, it's really very emotional.
For many St. Matthew's families, every day brings its challenges. For Regina Baker and her family, it's about finding where her mother is and deciding whether she should be moved out of St. Matthew's.
I would want her to be transferred somewhere else, but it's up to her family members, like my sisters and my brothers, because they all still here.
In late April, 215 graves were moved to a more stable area of St. Matthew's. Forest Lawn Cemetery, which owns St. Matthew's, says the area where the graves were was sinking into Cayuga Creek. Families heard about all this primarily from word of mouth. What's happening now? Forest Lawn and attorneys for St. Matthew's families continue to find the descendants of those who were moved to find out where they would like their loved ones buried, whether it's remaining in St. Matthew's, moved to another part of the cemetery, or being transferred out.
The individuals who were buried in the Garden of the Good Shepherd, the 215, the burials occurred as recently as a few months before April of this year, and as long ago as about 3 years ago. So these are all very recent burials, and so the records really should be up to date.
Attorney Barry Covert says he has been in contact with 85 St. Matthew's families.
It's going to take a little legwork with communicating, but I think it'll be fairly easy. I think we'll be able to accomplish that in the next few weeks, I would hope.
It still hasn't been determined who would actually pay for disinterment and reburial this time around. Now, both Forest Lawn and attorneys for the families believe that there may be some families that they just are not able to make contact with. This week, Judge Dennis Ward denied Forest Lawn a request to move the caskets at St. Matthew's after the fact. Both sides are due back in court in late October. A lawsuit against Forest Lawn is still being considered in how the cemetery handled this situation. I'm Jeff Preval, Channel 2 News.